is Mia, and today we're discussing code P0325, knock sensor circuit malfunction. The knock sensor does what its name implies. It detects engine spark knock or pinging. The knock sensor sends a signal to the vehicle's computer, the engine control module. The engine control module then uses this information to adjust ignition timing to reduce spark knock. On this particular vehicle, the ECM has a 5-volt pull-up resistor, which applies 5 volts to the knock sensor connector. The circuitry within the knock sensor causes the voltage to be pulled down to about 2.5 volts under a no knock condition, so we'll be seeing 2.5 volts here. There are two basic style knock sensors, the Y-band style, which is what we're going to look at today. That's the older style, and then there's a resonance style used on newer vehicles. This is the easiest of my vehicles. This is the only one that's actually easy to get to without removing the intake manifold. So we're going to take a look at this sensor operation and see how to test a knock sensor. Check that the ECM is sending its 5-volt reference to the knock sensor. We could do that by disconnecting the sensor connector, and we've got our positive meter lead connected to the connector, and the negative lead is to chassis ground. We should see a 5-volt reference with the ignition on if the ECM is sending its 5-volt reference properly and that portion of the circuit is intact. And as you can see, we've got our 5-volt reference. You can see in this information from all data that if the knock sensor is functioning properly, we should be seeing a voltage of about 2.5 volts when it pulls the signal down. We're going to use a back probe test lead to tap into it and then hook that up to our multimeter. We should see about 2.5 volts from this knock sensor. You can see right here, it's good. Looking at the flow chart for this vehicle, we can see that knock sensor resistance should be between 3300 and 4500 ohms. So let's check it out. So we want to disconnect the connector from the sensor. And we've got one of our test leads to the sensor itself. And then we're going to touch the other one to ground and see what our resistance reading is. The spec on this vehicle is between 3300 and 4500 ohms of resistance. So let's check it out and see if it's good. And we're going to go ahead and check the resistance of the sensor. I'm going to go ahead and touch the meter lead to chassis ground. And once again, the manufacturer specified between 3300 and 4500 ohms of resistance, so we are looking good.